There's a lot of talk right now about a 50-year mortgage or a 50-year home loan. Currently, 30 years is kind of the standard, and now they're talking about a 50-year loan. Now, there's three positives for a 50-year loan, and there's, of course, some negatives too. The number one positive is obviously a lower monthly payment. If you do a 50-year loan compared to a 30. And I'll just give you an example. A $300,000 loan, let's say at 6% interest, is $1,896 a month. If you took that same $300,000 at 6.5% and did it on a 50-year loan, it would be $1,565 a month. So obviously a lower monthly payment. Number two, increased buying power. With a lower monthly payment, you can afford to buy a nicer house. For a lot of people, that's a benefit because they don't have to buy a fixer-upper for their first house. They can actually buy a nicer home. So there could be some savings along the way from buying a house, fixing it up, living in it, then having to sell it, turn around and go buy another house, pay the loan fees and selling expenses all over again. If they can afford to buy the house they really want to stay in, that makes a lot of sense. And as you earn more money, you could always refinance the house and get it on a 30-year loan. Number three, 30-year mortgage. For a buyer who doesn't really easily qualify to buy a home, it'll make it a whole lot easier to buy their first house because their initial monthly payment will be lower, and that will improve their debt to income ratio. Now, don't run out and, I want to buy a house on a 50-year loan. There's some thought you want to put into this, and, take a pen and paper and do your own calculations. There is a negative, and that is if you take a 50-year loan, you're going to end up owing or paying over the life of the loan a whole lot more money in interest charges. So I'm guessing the banks are really going to like that. The reality is most people don't live in their house 30 years, let alone 50 years. They're going to pay that home off, or they're going to sell it and pay it off. So might be an easy way to get some new buyers in the homes that otherwise the homeownership might have been out of their budget. So if you found this interesting, definitely click that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.